Round was launched at H-17 seconds to accomplish H-hour impact on the desired ground zero at a range of 2,852 meters. The round was set for a low height of burst. It detonated perfectly, releasing its lethal radiation. Like any other nuclear weapon, the Davy Crockett gives off three basic effects: heat, blast, and nuclear radiation. By far, the most significant effect is its deadly initial nuclear radiation.
The Cold War was an interesting time to be alive. A wicked amount of human testing combined with those disgusting yellow cabinets your grandparents most likely have in their kitchens, which, let's be honest, is the real human rights violation. But that's not what we'll be talking about today. For this video, I will show you the powerful offspring of the military-industrial complex and the power of God. This weapon had one of the smallest destructive forces ever on record, for a nuke. The gun in question was the M28 and M29 Davy Crockett. This was a powerful recoilless rifle with a freaking nuclear bomb strapped to it. I really don't think there is a better name for a low-yield nuclear weapon that detonates with the force of between 10 and 20 tons of TNT.
Small. 10 to 20 tons of TNT.
The weapon could be transported on a jeep or in an armored personnel carrier, though when it was done in this latter fashion it was set up on a tripod and only fired away from the vehicle, though if it was fired from the jeep mounted position, it was left on. The gun was operated by a three-man crew as well as the supporting crew of the armored personnel carrier, and were carried by armored divisions. Within those divisions, the guns were usually given to the heavy mortar platoons. The M28 Davy Crockett had a range of about 2 kilometers, and the M29 had a range of about 4 kilometers.
What kind of masochist stands 2 clicks away from a nuclear device as it detonates? Oh, I could think of a few people that probably would. I don't want to think about the psychological effects that affect a human being as they're witnessing the literal evaporation of other human beings by their direct actions, let alone the other effects that this device can cause to its operators.
The guns had very poor accuracy. Not that it really matters when, well, you know. Now, the explosion was not the only lethal part of this wondrous and horrifying little package. Other effects include, but are not limited to, the sheer amount of radiation that this little monster put into the air. The warhead would put out over 10,000 rem within 150 meters, and 600 rem within a quarter of a mile. For reference, the workers who died from exposure at Chernobyl had an average of 6,000 rem exposure and died within a month.
Now really think about this. Not only the people having this thing shot at them, because, well, fuck are they dead, but the people shooting it, too. Now, I'm aware that the ideas and concepts and the knowledge that we have available to us today about what radiation can do to living things, and humans in particular, that's something that we have a lot of information about. Thank you, Fukushima. But, really, is this weapon designed to completely eradicate an enemy force, or is it designed to just strike fear into the hearts of everybody that has it pointed at them? Because really, I think it's both.
The little weapon of death was issued to battalions in Germany and pointed at the Fulda Gap from 1961 until 1967, and in South Korea till 1971. There was a version that was fully capable of being airdropped.
Freaking dropped from a plane with paratroopers. Just airdropped.
These guns would be deployed by parachute and dropped with a half-ton truck.
Now, this is not where the story of the Davy Crockett ends. Oh, no. No. There was another group of people that wanted them. A very important group of people. A very special type of people that don't have any misgivings about anybody on the planet. Who am I talking about? The Germans, of course.
One of the biggest voices that wanted one of these wonderful weapons was the West German Minister of War. I mean, Minister of Defense, Franz Josef Strauss.
Now, I can't be the only one uncomfortable with the German government actively seeking out nuclear weapons. Can I?
He argued that it would give Germany a better chance in NATO's defensive role and have a better chance at warding off possible Soviet attacks.
The American Armed Forces had a very reasonable, simple, understandable reaction when it came to the German army requesting nuclear weapons after the Second World War. A very simple and concise, "No, you can fuck right off. We'll give you nukes later." My final thoughts are this. The Davy Crockett is an incredibly interesting and destructive machine that could have only been created during the early stages of the Cold War. Now, for me, the most terrifying part about this weapon is the fact that there were over 2,000 of them built and delivered to South Korea and West Germany. Now, my teeny tiny 21st century protected little brain can't get its mind around the idea of the United States being so desperate for a man-portable tactical nuke that they shoved the smallest one ever created onto a recoilless rifle and told their infantry battalions, "Go." See, that being the case, I don't feel bad for the people that it was intended to be shot at, because they never had it shot at them. No, the people I feel really bad for are the poor sleps that had to carry it all around the countryside in these exotic places far from their homes. And now, while they're carrying it, that's 24 hours a day, and that means you're sleeping in a bunk next to a backpack that has enough nukes to destroy a fucking city.